much lighter than mine.
Well, I put creamer in mine, so.
I'm glad you wanted to do that. Because I was thinking about doing it too. Oh, that's funny. Alright, welcome back to Not Your Morning Joe. Hopefully this time with a video option included. I just want to say thank you, first of all, to the 10 people who listened to our first podcast. I know that sounds really silly and like I'm kidding, but I'm so not. I honestly thought 0 people would listen to it. And then our siblings listened to our little sister and our little brother listened to it, and I was like, okay, 2 people. That's fine. I'll do it for those 2. But then we checked and it said 10, and I was like, oh my gosh. So if you want to let us know who you are, please do, because I'm genuinely curious. So we hardly promoted it at all. I mean, I put it on my story like twice.
Yeah.
So I'd love to know who you are and what your thoughts were.
Originally, I was like, it has to be your friends, but I guess I posted it on my story too.
I'm just trying to think of like.
I feel like Corey might have been one of them, but I also feel like Corey would have said. I feel like she would have said, "Hey, I listened to the podcast."
So do I. But I know she listens to podcasts on her way to work.
That girl has quite the commute to work, so she has plenty of time to listen to our podcast.
Kind of like calling her out if it wasn't her, being like, "You had time.
You have time.
We know you listen to podcasts." But yeah, so thank you, genuinely. I think we just want to have fun with this, and if it grows, cool. And if we only do it for week 10, I'm okay with that, honestly. I think it's
I'd rather it be a conversation just between a small group.
Yes. I don't need...
Less judgment.
Yeah. For whatever we say. Because this is not scripted at all.
No.
And we have like a general idea, but we're not like...
I think that makes it better. Rachel and I were discussing what we wanted to talk about this week, and I've jotted down a few ideas, but Rachel and I don't want to move on from WandaVision quite yet.
It's just too much fun.
And so we're going to talk about now the episodes that we've seen since the first, 4 did we watch?
I think we watched 4 now. Since then, we've watched episodes 5 and 6.
Yes. And so I think... What?
We should have checked before we started this. We're not good fact checkers.
So I think there's 1 or 2 more left of the season.
Yeah, Mark said there should be 8 episodes, so we think that there's 2 left.
So,
but yeah, we're gonna talk about WandaVision and wrap that up a little bit. But this podcast isn't just gonna be about Marvel. So I guess if you're not here for that, then check back later.
Yeah.
But for right now, that's what we're gonna talk about.
Exactly. So I was telling Rachel, at least this episode and the next will be about WandaVision / Marvel as kind of things, but then after that, I promise we'll move on to something else. We just are like, this is a good opportunity to talk about WandaVision because we're in the middle of the hype of it, I feel like. Yeah. And so instead of us talking about it a year or 2 later, I was gonna say something else and I forgot.
I just love it so much because I was trying to tell Aaliyah, my best friend, to watch it, but she's very against getting into it because she feels like if she does, it's like an all or nothing situation where she has to watch all of the movies, and now it's just too late because there's just so many, which is fair. Arguably, there's a lot going on. But I was like, but WandaVision is so good creatively. I just think it's the most clever thing that's come out in a very long time. I've never seen anything like it.
It is filmed so incredibly well.
So well. Just, especially the transitions from sitcom moments to, what it, outside of the sitcom, it's just, it's done so smoothly and so well.
The commercials are done so well that you think you're actually watching a real commercial.
Yeah, for the first 10 seconds, you're like, oh, commercial. And you're like, wait.
I'm watching Netflix. There's no commercials here.
And also, this is dated.
This is really old. You're like, what is this?
Yeah.
But for a moment, you're like...
You are like, wow, what are we watching?
This is a commercial, cool.
Yeah.
And then you almost tune off for a second, and then you realize you're like, oh no, I need to pay attention to this commercial.
Okay, so since the last time we talked, Bekah has looked up several theories and things on the internet, so she had a lot of ideas going on. I did not have anything. I just wanted to watch it, and I wanted to watch it on floral, because I love that with each episode, you're kind of like, okay, I'm getting answers to some of my questions, but now I have 12 more to replace one question that you answered. Bekah and Mark, we've watched it with my husband Mark, get so frustrated, and they're just like, what? I need more now. So anyway, Bekah's been looking at theories. So we didn't know in the last podcast what was happening in Westview. Yeah. And now we have at least a better idea in the fact that, spoiler alerts.
Yes.
We're just gonna say lots of things.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it,
especially the last episode, is very telling about the whole story. So I feel like the other ones were like, here's what's going on. It's a sitcom, but the last episode we watched really gives you a full pan of what's going on. So
I think it's episode 6, but it's called Previously On.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen that one,
don't listen to this because we're gonna
ruin it.
We're gonna ruin the whole
and
thing.
It's a beautiful experience to just watch it. So
especially for the first time because you were just like, my mouth was open.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like,
yeah, it was crazy. So now we at least know Wanda did create the town.
Mm-hmm.
Like kind of on her own, but like also on accident.
And
it's just kind of like she like I think she had the feelings like I want this to happen, and then spontaneously her powers were like, let's get it done. And then when she saw Vision, she was like, I'm just gonna roll with it, I guess. But then Agnes must have come in at some point and done something because she just gets confused the further like in time things go. So now we know that Agnes is pulling the strings behind it. What's this song? Yeah.
I can't think of it. It's such a good song.
It is. Oh, it's gonna bother me. I can't. There's like a little theme song that plays that says that Agnes is behind everything. We just have to know. Bekah's gonna.
I don't know if we can play it in the podcast, so
it's only a few seconds. I'm not sure what the copyright rules are, so
we're gonna get.
Should we just say we don't own any copyright things?
Agnes.
Please don't sue us for the 10 people who are listening to us.
Agnes, what do they say? Agnes is in charge of is what?
It was like Agnes did it all, or Agnes behind it all. There's the word all is in there.
I can't find it.
Well, whatever. It's very catchy.
Yeah, it's such a catchy little.
So we know that she's manipulating things somehow, but it seems like Wanda did whatever she did, and then later on, Agnes came to the town and then started messing with things. Because she obviously didn't know how Wanda created the town, because that's what the whole last episode she spent figuring out was about.
I'm just realizing, before we started talking about this, I was like, I only have a couple things to say, and now I'm realizing I have so many things to say, and I don't even know where to start, because I feel like once I tell you something, we'll have a conversation about it, and it'll be so long. Okay, well, the first one I want to say, so I did read a lot of theories about the show, and I'm actually upset that I read them, because one of them is, like, so far out there, and if I find out it's real, I'm gonna explode. And I don't even want to tell Rachel about it, because it's too much.
Do you think even now, after watching these 2 episodes, it could be true?
No. Because the way they explained it would explain how the anomaly was working. They were saying what was causing it to work.
Oh.
And it was a really cool theory. And as much as I say I didn't want it to be true, it'd be really cool if it was, but I don't know how it would even be possible, and I don't know how they could even write it in for it to be possible. Anyway, what I wanted to say was, when I started reading the theories, I realized that during the movies, they never once call her Scarlet Witch. And so now it's like coming into play, and so when I was reading the theories, it was like, in the comics you find out that she's a witch, and then there's other witches, and Agnes is one of them, and so people kind of caught on pretty early, or at least people who've read the comics caught on pretty early that Agnes was this other witch,
right?
Or she was Agatha, I should say.
You kind of get a hint of it when that guy is like explaining who Wanda is, and then the bad mean guy was like, "That's it. That's all the names that she goes by. We've never called her anything else." And he's like, "No, it's Wanda."
Exactly. And so up until this point, we've just been calling her Wanda because that's her name. Yeah. And so now it's coming into play that she's Scarlet Witch, which is funny because I don't even know how we. Like, you and I didn't read the comics, and we still called her that.
I think because Mark knew.
Oh, yeah.
Mark hasn't read the comics, but he's done quite a bit of digging.
So in terms of that, I kind of knew right before that last episode that she was a witch, and this is how it was going to come into play. The second thing I really wanted to touch on was there is a scene in Doctor Strange where he goes into the Supreme One's library, and there's all these, like, intense books. They're different than the other books. They're like big and they're glowing.
The ones that are like locked up.
Yes, they're like locked up. And Doctor Strange asks about one of them because it's missing. And Agnes has it in her basement. we think.
Theoretically,
it looks very similar to the ones that are there. It would only make sense that she's missing one. It seems like something Agatha would do.
Girl crazy.
But yeah,
I remember you telling me that that was a book stolen from the Sorcerer Supreme.
Oh, sorry, calling her the Supreme one. That's what I kept calling her.
It is the Supreme one.
It was the Sorcerer Supreme. Wouldn't it be Sorceress Supreme?
You would think. I thought that it was just like a panel, like you just like are scanning the library and you see like a book that looks like it should be there and it's not, but they like comment on it in the movie. You're saying?
Yeah, Doctor Strange.
I need to rewatch Doctor Strange.
I don't think. I might be wrong. I know he points at the books and asks them what they are, and then Wong tells him what they are. But I can't remember if he says like there's one missing, and then he was like someone stole it a long time ago.
I just feel like we should watch it just to get a.
Rachel loves Doctor Strange, and
it's one of my favorite Marvel movies. I don't know if it's because Rachel McAdams is in it, and you know, as a Rachel, you need to support other Rachels.
I kind of forget she's in. It's like when you think about how Natalie Portman is in the Thor movies, you're like, that's weird.
Why are you there? Yeah, I know. Same. But yeah, I just like his story because he's so obnoxious, and then he gets like really taken down.
Do you think that's your favorite one?
In terms of,
let's say this, an origin story, is that your favorite one?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know what it is about it.
Yeah.
Maybe the traveling, the hardcore crash is like epic. I just love the dramatic drop.
I literally think I've seen it like twice. Like the first time I watched it in the theaters and then one other time, and Rachel's apparently seen it. I think it's good. I do like it, but it's definitely not one of my favorites.
I think part of the reason I like it is because it's underrated. But I just feel like it's really well done. The acting is like good. There's good humor, and I just think it's an interesting, unique story to becoming a hero, as opposed to the other ones that are kind of more, not like overdone or anything, but like I guess more predictable. But like his is just so much of a different. It's like an up and in, there's a roller coaster happening. So I don't know, but I really like it. So I just any excuse to watch.
Yeah. What show is he in? Doctor Who, or is it Sherlock? What show is he in? Both. Okay. So I was gonna say I think it's like really hard, especially with the Marvel cast. I think there's so many like famous people in it, but in my head, Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man.
Yeah. And
I don't like. There's a few other things I've seen him in where it's like whatever, but I think it was harder for him in Doctor Strange to like separate himself from those. Those aren't small roles. Those are very large roles, and I don't even watch those shows, and I know that he's in them.
Right.
And so I think he does a really good job of like. I think even when I'm watching it, I'm like.
Yeah.
He is Doctor Strange. That's it.
Yeah. I totally 100% agree. Which is funny because, his name is Benedict Cumberbatch. And he played Sherlock in a movie, and Robert Downey Jr. played Sherlock.
Yeah, I totally forgot. Those Sherlock movies are so good.
There are just so many little hidden gems of the Marvel universe that are like that you're like, oh, I forgot, and now that I remember, it's just fun stuff.
Good.
Yeah. So anyway,
sorry, I watched
tangent.
I watched a TikTok about all of them had to get together for like a photo shoot and take a photo together. This was like before Stan Lee died, and it was funny because the fact that somebody was there was making a video about them coming together to take a picture. They took a single picture. But the first thing I thought of was, how in the world somebody was in charge of finding out what day worked best for this entire cast?
I do not want to be in charge of that schedule.
And then you forget how absolutely stacked the Marvel movies are in terms of famous people, because in the video you see like, so I, for example, forgot that Vin Diesel is the voice of, is it Rocket or Groot? It's Groot. Yeah. So I forgot. I was like, why is Vin Diesel there? And then, like, in the video...
and then Rocket is...
Bradley Cooper?
Yeah.
Yep. And then somebody else. I can't think. Anyway, so it was funny. And then you're just seeing all these people. So this photo shoot happened before Stan Lee died and before Chadwick Boseman died. Forever. R.I.P. So I was thinking about that, and then I was like, there are so many famous people in this franchise. It's ridiculous.
Insane. I don't know how they filmed anything, ever.
How do you plan that? And then I know, like...
I guess even if you're famous, you know, that's top priority. Because this is the
most
epic thing that's ever happened. So, Make
I
it
don't
happen.
know, but the TikTok, it just made me emotional. I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many people. Anyway.
Yeah. So, the book is from the Sorcerer Supreme.
Come back to WandaVision.
Probably.
Yes, seems to be the case. And so, at least in the last episode, you get a glimpse of where Agatha comes from.
They're calling her Agnes?
Agnes was her name in the show, like the TV show, but her name is Agatha Harkness.
Okay.
Harkness.
All right.
So you kind of get a glimpse of where she comes from and a little bit of her backstory.
Those Salem witch trials.
I won't say what I thought about that
So funny.
because it's negative. But I think something we should talk about is that Agatha kind of hints at almost the entire episode that she thinks that Wanda was a witch before Strucker even experimented on her, and the Mind Stone enhanced her powers.
Which makes sense when you're watching those scenes back with them, because, I mean, the bomb not going off, you could say it was a dud. But you could also, but with, when you put it with the other things, it's like, maybe she just turned it off. But I really think what's telling is that when she goes in to meet the Mind Stone, I don't know how else to say that.
What's up, Mind Stone? What's good?
The guys in the class are like, should we be doing this? Everybody else that's gone in this room has died. And she doesn't. So there's got to be something different about her that the Mind Stone was like, we've chosen you, Wanda.
Maximoff.
Oh, I was thinking of Scarlett Johansson's character's last name, which I cannot remember. We suck. There's just too many.
Say her first name. What is her first name?
Yeah. Natalie.
Natalie. Yeah, it's Natalie.
Romanoff.
Natasha. We're the worst fans.
There's too many names.
I think I like that, but then it presents another question because Pedro didn't die either.
No, he did die.
When introduced to the Mind Stone.
Well, they're twins. Same.
So.
Dinah.
Dinah?
You know, like in. You guys know that scene in Zootopia? It's in our Dinah. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced DNA.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? Mark and I say it all the time. Well, we say the part where he goes, don't tell me what I know, Travis.
Ooh, I remember that.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you'd follow me there.
Oh, wait. This is at the very beginning of the movie when they're like kids.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I think I remember now. Yep.
What were we talking
So Pedro's a Wiccan.
Yeah, Wicked. Yeah.
A male witch.
Another movie quote. I'm sorry. I guess. That's a good question. Or, well, they never show it, so I don't know. There's a jets flying over our house.
I just realized, so we did do this in our living room the first time, and it was a little echoey, so we decided to do it in my room where there's carpet.
And a beautiful hipster backdrop.
But also the planes fly over often, and this morning there was a helicopter in the bay, so.
I saw that. It
Yeah.
flew like right over our house, and I was like, dang, they're close right now. And then I looked out the back window, and I was like, oh, Jake's getting there. It's a helicopter.
They're right there,
And
yeah.
He swooped down over the tree line, and I was like,
I think they do some like testing
some
or
like
rescue
training.
training in the bay that we live in, and so I frequently wake up in the morning and there's a helicopter.
There's a TikTok about living on base and hearing all these noises.
Oh
and
my!
being like,
You're like, are we okay? It's just literally because they come down. This is a tangent. I don't know why I'm talking about this. They come down really close to the water, and so you can. It sounds like the helicopter is right outside our window, and I mean the bay is like 50 yards from my.
I mean,
from my
helicopters are not quiet in the first place.
No.
So
when they come close to your house. Anyway, so you might
sorry
hear
if
some.
there's yeah.
I don't know where to do it in the house where it's better.
There's no spot.
There's more.
Unless we were in the closet. Inside of the closet itself, with
Perfect.
the doors closed.
Beautiful. So we'll just have problems. We might experiment around the home, but
yeah. So tell us what your favorite spot is, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's true. They don't answer that question of
so
Pedro.
I think So I guess my question was, do you think that she was a witch beforehand?
I think she was. I think there was at least something different about her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're predisposed to be a witch.
It's in your DNA.
It's in your DNA. But it seems like it, and it would add up that if it was in her DNA, it would also be in his because they're twins. I mean, they're not identical twins, obviously, but they still are extremely similar, more so than regular kids. Or siblings, I think is what I meant. So I think so. But what a good question. Because the Mind Stone enhanced his powers. Maybe Wiccans are just really fast. They're boys. Because she's obviously stronger.
Yeah.
Than Pietro.
And I think
Well, I guess you can't even say that because they weren't at their full capacity of power when he was alive.
I just am like, what kind of power would she have even without the Mind Stone? Because she has ridiculous amount of power. Mm-hmm. Agatha doesn't even understand what is going on in the town she lives in. Mm-hmm. She's like, she keeps asking her, she's like, how did you do this?
Well, because she has magic going on autopilot.
Yeah.
As she says. And so she's obviously like super powerful to be able to sustain all that magic all at once when Agatha can only turn a cricket into a bird. I didn't like that scene. It was really creepy.
It's just weird because I kind of wonder where they're going with it because it seems like Agatha's evil, but
I guess she wants to use her as like for her powers because she's mad that she has all that power and she's making breakfast for dinner, as she says. You know,
she's so upset about that.
I know, she really is.
I'm just like,
I was just doing my thing.
I guess what I was gonna say was, at least in the theories I read, Wanda does join the coven that she's in, and so I wonder if it's supposed to be a bad thing that she's in a witch's coven.
It seems like Agatha's pretty bad.
Or I might have read it wrong, and just correct me, anyone, if you will. Maybe she does join a like good witch's coven, and Agatha's still trying to get at her when she joins a good witch.
Maybe, because like you were saying, there's more than one witch, and besides, like there's more than just the two of them.
Yes,
there's like several other.
There's a coven
colors of witches.
Coven of witches. Yes.
Because Agatha, I guess, is the purple witch.
That's a nice color.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's probably violet witch.
That makes way more.
It's not purple.
Yeah, we can't. It's gotta make
fancy.
It pretty. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be interesting, especially now that we're on a dangling hook cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger.
How many times are we gonna quote?
That's a throwback.
Really obscure.
That is a throwback.
Between the lines. Yeah, so, because she has her kids, so it's like, what's going to happen? Is she going to, like, force her into being a bad guy? What if Agatha is working with that bad guy outside?
No.
Because that guy is a trash can.
Gosh. At first you're like, he's a bad guy, we don't like him.
Right, but then
it just
watch
gets
this
worse.
episode, and
it just gets worse. He's like, he's a real bad guy. And
you
then
were
you're
just
like,
straight up lying. Like, when you're first watching it, you're like, okay, you're scared. I get it. We do a lot of things out of fear. It's like pretty much how our society works. But then you watch this one and it's like, oh no, you were intentionally making her look like a bad person to get Vision. That's rude. That's just rude. And now there's two Visions.
Which is just gonna really whack with Wanda so much.
Yeah, as if she didn't have enough mental issues. Now they have that going on. Because I don't think the Vision that's in the Hex is gonna stay.
He can't.
He clearly can't survive outside of the Hex. So, whatever happens to the Hex, obviously they're gonna take it down eventually, and that Vision is gonna go away, and then all that's gonna be left is this gray Vision, which is apparently in the comics, as Mark told us.
So that was really depressing to find out that it's not even, she didn't even go in and take Vision's body, and some form of Vision's body is there. It's all her powers that brought him up, but
at least gives you hope that Vision is still going to be around because they have the gray Vision.
I don't think he'll be the same.
Do you think he's going to be evil?
Yeah.
I don't think he is.
He's
not evil in the comics.
Okay. Even if he's not evil, I don't think he will be Vision. Like,
But what Mark was saying was, like, in the movie, when they're trying to take the Mind Stone out of Vision, Tony and Bruce were saying that if they did that, then some of the best parts of Vision would still be left. So, because that's what they were intentionally trying to do
at the end
of an Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think he will be good. I think at first he won't be because that guy's trying to use him for evilness. But then he'll, like, wake up and be like, oh my gosh, I'm not evil. I love Wanda. I think Wanda's gonna, like, bring him back. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's gonna be, like, kind of like a robot-esque little machine killer at first. And then he's gonna see Wanda and she's gonna be like, look into my eyes, my soulmate, my love. And he's gonna be like, oh, I remember everything. I love you and I'm okay now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what
I'm
I'm saying?
stressed out that this isn't recording.
Oh.
It is.
Okay. I was like,
I just don't think that is the case.
you think he's gonna be evil?
Not necessarily. He could still be good. I'm just saying, I think they have taken Wanda's happy ending and it will not be given
I just feel like this has been 6 episodes of getting to Wanda actually being happy for them to not let that happen.
I don't think she is happy, is the thing.
But she's working toward, like, that's what she wants. You know, that's kind of what the whole show's about, is like, will Wanda ever be happy? Now that everyone she's known and loved is dead?
I feel like I'm the only person to go this far with such a thought, and it probably won't even play out in the show, and by probably, I mean, it will not. I literally keep thinking about when it's all over and, like, said and done, and they, like, take the Hex down, calm Wanda down, get her away from Agatha, all that shiz. She's gonna have to go to therapy.
She should be in therapy now.
She should be in therapy right now. But I don't think that'll ever occur in the show or whatever, but I'm like, she needs to see a therapist. That girl,
she's got a lot going on.
She created a sitcom out of her. What stage of grief is that? That doesn't even flow. She added a new stage of grief.
Creation.
Create a new life.
Do you think the boys will survive outside the house?
I'm just so confused. I still don't have answers about her sons. Like, are they
real? Because Vision can't survive outside the Hex.
And then it adds a whole new fold if Wanda is able to create life.
Yeah.
On her own.
Yeah. Well, she said, you're the Scarlet Witch, capable of spontaneous creation. So, I think that means that she can, in fact, create genuine life.
I just want to know, like, what does she want her for? You know, like, what are they going to do?
I don't know. Take over the world, probably. The new Thanos.
Please don't. Please don't go there.
Imagine. I just love that actress. I don't know what else.
She's great.
She's like not.
She's like an obscure character in a bunch of other things.
She's like a bunch of people's best friends, but I really like her, and she's done really well in the show.
Oh, yeah.
Being so funny and random. And then you kind of like thought throughout the series, like, maybe she is bad, but only just a touch were you thinking that. And I just feel like she did that so well to be like, maybe I'm bad, but maybe just because you're really suspicious, I'm probably not. I have a bunny. You know what I'm saying?
I have a bunny. It was Agatha all along.
Oh, you found it. Do you remember it, or?
It just started coming to me, and then I was typing in different words.
It was Agatha all along. I love it. It's so funny. It's just so silly. It's just like so silly and so serious at the same time. Maybe that's why I like it so much. It's that roller coaster. It's up and down. Really about it.
The Wi-Fi doesn't work very well in my room, so we'll get there.
Oh,
it's
I
coming.
always forget about that.
Mm-hmm.
We need a booster in here. But yeah, and then we were talking to Andrew, our little brother, about it, and he was saying how, I don't know why we were talking about it exactly, but he was reminding me that Vision, oh, I'm sorry.
I just flinched so hard.
It really did. It's so loud.
I can't play too much of this, so I just want to play it at the right time.
Play it at the theme song.
Just wait. never gonna get our podcast taken down.
Sorry. Is that actress singing? Isn't it?
It sounds like her.
It sounds like her to me.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to talk about what she's in before we move on.
Well,
the other show
I don't want to
she's
move
in.
on before you remind me of what she's in. I'm trying to remember why me and Andrew were talking about it.
Catherine Hahn.
Oh, it's because in the last podcast I said that when Vision comes to life, it's kind of like that Jesus moment where he's like, I'm not on anyone's side. I'm on the side of good. Because he was at that moment when he comes to life and subsequently, like 10 seconds later, picks up the hammer. He's done nothing. So he's like a baby, basically, who's had no actions. So he's essentially perfect. So I think that's why he can pick up the hammer.
Mm.
And then me and Andrew were talking about the theory of if he could still pick up the hammer, were he to try now that he has done some things, which I think is a very interesting theory. And I hope that they answer it at some point.
She's in Bad Moms.
Oh gosh.
Have you seen that?
I don't think I've seen the whole thing. Does that have
She plays the voice of somebody in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
That's funny.
Isn't that funny? Hotel Transylvania. She's the voice of Erica.
Yeah, I think I looked this up and I was like, I actually don't know anything that she's been in.
Bad Moms. I think that's what I know her from, Bad Moms. She's in Parks and Rec. Yes.
Oh?
She's a mean lady from Eagleton.
Oh.
I think that might also be it for me.
Mm.
Isn't Eagleton where she's from? I don't remember. Oh, no. Tangent. Paul Rudd's in this, in Parks and Rec.
Oh.
And he plays like this, he's not very bright.
Mm.
And he's running for mayor of Eagleton, and she is running his campaign.
Mm. Interesting.
And then Leslie and Ben are running her campaign. But she keeps showing up, and
this is just such...
it's so random. But and she's like the same person in Parks and Rec that she is here. Just the like bubbly...
Mm.
And she's mean in Parks and Rec, but you don't realize it because she's like so.
Same kind of character.
She's blunt.
Yeah.
She's so, and you're like, oh, okay.
You said that.
Yeah, I think that's what I would.
Paul Rudd and her.
Yes, Paul Rudd's in that.
Oh, I keep thinking that Paul Rudd is August.
Paul Rudd is Ant-Man.
Yes.
For those of you, I just typed in new Marvel
but
shoes.
He is not August from Once Upon a Time. Those are different people.
I was trying to look up new Marvel shows and I typed in new Marvel shoes.
Did you find anything good?
No. Did you want to elaborate on the Bible thing?
Oh, I was just going to say I think it's an interesting theory because me and Bekah were talking about it earlier that so Vision could pick up the hammer at his initial creation, but then he's done some things. And he was on the opposite side of Captain America during Civil War. So, if you think one was right and one was wrong, you would have to say that Vision was wrong because Captain America can still pick up the hammer, which means that he's worthy of it. And so, that would lead you to believe that Vision could not because he was on the opposite side of the Civil War.
Yep.
So, it's just interesting.
Yeah. So Rachel and I were talking about if he'd still be able to pick it up now, but I don't.
But then it's kind of mute point because apparently Vision's still dead.
So.
But now he's not.
That's the kicker.
Could Grey Vision pick it up?
I think he could because he's a baby, like new into the world.
But he's just revitalized.
Very
That's the same Vision.
I don't. That's what I'm telling you. I don't think it is. I think they just used
his body.
They used his body.
Yeah, that's his body.
I thought they were just.
No, they still have it because he was like, we've been trying to do all this thing to bring the Vision back. It turns out we just need the original source, which was the Mind Stone powers.
I hate that they call him the Vision.
Yeah, I don't like it either. Well, that's because to him, Vision's a machine. He never even like tries to refer to him as a person, which is really uncomfortable and weird whenever he shows Vision to her and they're like dismantling him. It's like, I don't think you should show that to a loved one. But to that guy, he's just a machine. Whereas to Wanda, yeah it's weird time.
Yeah.
You pulled up the new Marvel
Yeah,
shows?
I don't want to move on until
I'm good.
you're good and ready.
That
I didn't
is
mean
not-
to rush you.
No.
Okay, what?
You just don't have a lot of thoughts on it because it's too...
It's just too much, and I've been sitting here saying all my questions, you know. And again, we're just theorizing at this point.
Right. I just don't think they were going to answer it in the show.
Yeah.
It's just a good, interesting theory.
Are you sure there's nothing?
No, please tell me what's next. Because I liked that commercial for the new Captain America and Falcon show. What's it called?
It's called The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, there you go.
So I really don't even care about these other ones. I just mainly want to talk about that. Just kidding. There's more. That is gonna be so epic, and also Peggy's niece is in it, right?
Yes, I think so.
I just feel like I love that Sam. She's Sam. No, that's not his name.
Falcon?
Yeah, what's Falcon's name?
No, I think it is Sam. The other guy's name is Rhodey.
Yes, okay. So Sam and Bucky like hate each other essentially. But in Civil War, it is so funny the banter that they have. It's so good, and I think it'll just continue into this where they're like, we're not admitting to anyone that we're friends, and the only reason
we're just fighting bad guys together.
And also, like, Cap was the reason they were friends in general, and now Cap's not really a part of it, and so I feel like it'll develop their relationship a lot more, obviously, and they'll be like, okay, our relationship isn't dependent on Steve anymore, so like, what do we talk about? I don't know. I'm just really excited. I think they're going to do it so well, and I love Sebastian Stan, and I love the guy that plays Anthony Mackie, that's his name. I'm just pulling these actors' names out of my booty.
Look at you go. I can't remember anybody's. There's too many.
I love Sebastian Stan. I think he's...
Everybody loves him. Chef's kiss. Good job, Jesus.
He does a great job.
I just don't understand what the show... Is it just them fighting bad guys?
No idea. I don't care. They're gonna hang out. There's gonna be violence.
Yeah.
Peggy's niece is gonna be there. It's gonna be
That's
a good
what the
time.
trailer looked like. It was just like kind of them fighting bad guys randomly. Yep. And I didn't... And because WandaVision was like kind of like moving the whole universe forward, but this one just seems like random back alley kick buttery.
They're just out there doing stuff. I think it'll be like them trying to fight crime with the Sokovia Accords still in play.
I always forget that's still happening. I don't like that.
It's weird. And then, like, I wonder... I'm just confused on, like, entirely what's happening with S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, is S.H.I.E.L.D. sword now? Or...
S.H.I.E.L.D.'s not a thing anymore.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
So I guess, like, sword is kind of, like...
The pieces of what's left
of
it?
Well, no, sword was, like, a thing...
Oh, it was before, yeah.
Yeah, it's always been a thing.
So I just feel like...
But now it seems like they're kind of taking over as a S.H.I.E.L.D.-esque part of the series.
It's also just like... S.H.I.E.L.D. was, like, funded by Tony, and so now I don't really know... I mean, obviously, Tony Stark is still making money, and I don't know if Pepper's, like, pouring that into more...
Yeah.
I think my question really is, who are they working for?
Yeah.
Or with, I guess, alongside? Are they sword
just
agents?
Two of them?
Or are they just Jay chillin'? She works for the FBI, right?
She works for the FBI. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm just like, is she gonna quit her job and just chill with them?
I don't know.
She hanging out? She's on the cover, so I don't think it's like a...
I think she's like their inside accomplice. You know?
That's good stuff.
Like, she's like, hey...
I feel like
I have some FBI information for you.
A blind person, but I took my contacts out and I don't know what I did with my glasses, so I just keep having to hold this up.
Did you order your new glasses?
Yes, I did.
I'm so excited. First time in 8 years Becca's getting new glasses.
Did you count? Was it 8?
Oh, I thought you told me. I was being dramatic.
I got glasses for the first time. I've had contacts since I was in middle school, and then I bought a pair of glasses when I was a sophomore in high school, and I haven't got a new pair of glasses since.
And now she got 2 new pairs because buy one get one free.
This is not an ad, but I buy direct.
Seriously though, this is where I got these glasses.
They're super cute. I don't know how much yours were, but they have cheap ones on there. The cheapest one I saw was $9, and that's not for the frames. That is for the frames and the lenses. You get
prescription lenses.
Sorry, for people who see for free, good for you. But like, I need to take a moment to plug I Buy Direct.
Yeah.
Because I just the other day I got 2 pairs of glasses because they had a buy one get one free thing going on. I got 2 pairs of glasses for $50,
which is insane.
I shouldn't be able to get 1 pair of glasses for $50.
And then they donate a pair of glasses to people in need.
Yeah, and you get to choose where it goes. I sent some glasses to what's that place called? It was in Africa, but I didn't do Kenya.
It started with a W.
So
oh, the Ivory Coast.
Yes, I sent some glasses to the Ivory Coast. Yes. I loved that.
You got to choose where you send them, which was really fun.
I was like, I just made 3 pairs of glasses for $50.
Yeah, and they ship them to you in minimal packaging, so it's.
And that's why Rachel. So anyway, not an ad in the slightest.
But if you want to pay us for it, what a beautiful transition we
But
had.
if you have glasses, or you only wear contacts and you're like it's too
should.
Expensive to buy glasses, go to I Buy Direct.
Mm-hmm. You need to know about them.
Anyway, anything else you want to say about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
We just don't have a lot of information to go off of yet.
Yes.
But that is what it seems like.
So, I'm just going to put these in orders of importance because there's a lot of them, and maybe I'll list them off when we get closer to the end. Next for me would be Loki.
What a beautiful idea.
So,
Boy hops out with a Tesseract in the past.
I was going to say.
They messed up.
I was like, I think you and I are on the same page of when this is occurring.
Yeah. So, if you watched Endgame, they go back in time, and Loki gets the Tesseract because they messed something up. And he, in the real universe that we're in, he died because Thanos killed him, choked him out, and he was like, no coming back from this one.
Not like a fake dead like other people.
You're dead. And so the only way that they can have a series about Loki that is things we haven't seen, like going forward, would be this alternate universe where Loki has disappeared with the Tesseract. Because we know now that if you go back in time and you change time, doesn't change the future, it just creates a different reality. So we're assuming that this is when this series is going to take place, but
I just realized you could click on these.
Oh.
So Loki is coming to Disney Plus in May of this year.
Wow.
Which I didn't think was going to be happening so soon. It has the clip here, and then it says.
There's a clip?
Yeah, I think it's a trailer.
Oh, I've not seen it.
I don't think I've seen it. I thought I had, but no, I haven't. In Marvel Studios, Loki the Mercutio. Wish I could read. You can't read this.
I don't know.
Marsupial. Villain resumes his role as the god of mischief in a new series that takes place after the Avengers Endgame. Kate Herron directs, and Michael Waldron is the head writer. Debuts on June 11th.
Hey, my birthday's June 9th.
So yeah,
party.
So we were right. It does happen
after Endgame.
Yes.
Possibly in an alternate universe.
That was the only thing I wanted to say. Loki's
I'm just excited about it.
I was gonna go back and click on the.
Yeah, everybody loves Loki's character, so I feel like it's gonna be great. It's gonna be entertaining to watch because he's quite funny now.
Following the events of Avengers Endgame, Sam Wilson, Falcon, and Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, team up in a global adventure that tests their abilities and their and their patience. In Marvel Studios, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the all-new series, is directed by blah, 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 blah. March 19th!
Wow, that's so soon! I didn't realize!
It's coming!
I like that it says test their patience with each other.
It's each other. For sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about the Loki series as well because I think we all were like, obviously sad to see him die, and I think him getting to play out this new thing will be good. Especially because this Loki that stole the Tesseract is bad. He's a bad guy. At the end of Endgame, or the beginning, I guess, of Endgame, when he dies, he's kind of on the superhero side, trying to save the universe, albeit he is a member of the universe, so he might want to save it for his own skin. But he's kind of a good guy, and him and Thor are like, almost brothers at that point. But this Loki that stole the Tesseract in the past just lost that battle of New York, and so he's still a really bad guy. So it'll be interesting to see
what they do with his character, because I thought he was getting really interesting in the fact that he was kind of on the upswing of becoming a good guy in his Zuko character arc. So that should be interesting, because I feel like they're gonna want to, if they go back to him being bad, I feel like they'll want to make him good again. So
yep,
it should be interesting.
A whole new character arc for him.
Yeah, a whole new, you get to watch him become good again all over again.
So I feel like I already know which one you're going to want to talk about next, but I'll just list them. We have like 15 minutes. Okay, so we've got Legends. I don't know what that's about. What If, Ms. Marvel, Ms. It's MS Marvel. Ms. Marvel, Hawkeye, She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Secret Invasion, Iron Heart, Armor Wars, The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, and I Am Groot.
Oh my. I want to watch that.
Okay, so let's see what I Am Groot is about. I was going to talk about Hawkeye, I guess, so.
I was curious because he's retired.
Retired. Doesn't say anything.
Good. I wish it just said I am Groot.
There's no release.
I wish it was just like 15 sentences of I am Groot.
I am Groot. I am Groot. The only character in it is Groot. It's on Disney Plus.
I wonder if it's gonna be about him like regrowing up. That must be what it's about.
Yeah.
That'll be funny.
Okay, so I'm gonna click on the Hawkeye one also. I didn't hear about, I don't know what any of these other ones are.
You're on the Hawkeye one?
Yes.
Okay.
So this says late 2021. There's no overview of what it is.
We don't get to know anything.
So yeah, I haven't heard as much about that. They just, so
these are all supposed to be interconnected, like the Marvel's movies. So they're not like separate series in and of themselves. Like,
not like
what's happening in one is gonna be affecting the others.
It's not like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where like
that was like a totally separate thing and it didn't affect the movies at all. Good show though. But I feel like that's probably why a lot of those don't have overviews, because what's happening in the Scarlet Witch is gonna affect what's happening in like Hawkeye show or something like that. Especially with although I do feel like the Winter Soldier and what's it called? Hawkeye and the Winter Soldier?
No.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier is gonna be just like a lot of them just, kicking butt bad guys randomly. Underlyingly, they'll be moving the whole Marvel universe forward in that series as well, which I feel like will definitely impact Hawkeye and what he's doing in his retirement years.
I was just gonna say, the reason Rachel and I know about all of these is that there was like I don't know what the actual event is called, but there was like a Disney Day yesterday where other day, it was probably like a month ago, where they kind of, there's more jets. It's for it's for stocks and like shareholders to know what's going on in Disney World, but they just kind of tell you and announce all the things that are coming into play this year and then kind of into next year. But they just laid out like all the Marvel movies are gonna have all of the new Disney movies.
Can we talk about Luca? Sorry.
I feel like we need a whole episode for you to talk about.
Well, there's
Luca.
so little to go off of now. We just got that teaser trailer. If you've not seen, there's gonna be an animated series or a movie called Luca, and it's this little Italian boy in Italy. It's a little redundant. I'm so excited for that movie. I've known about it. I've known it's been in the works for quite some time, and I love Italy so much. So I just am so excited for them to animate that culture and scenery. It's gonna be freaking beautiful. I'm so pumped about it.
I guess we'll have to, on an episode, look at all the things that they talked about on that day and discuss all the stuff. So a lot of these don't really have a description. Ironheart doesn't have one. What If doesn't really, it has a description, but it doesn't really give you anything. And What If is also going to be animated. It's not live action.
Wow, interesting.
Ms. Marvel is live action. But it looks like young kids. So I think we'll have to watch the...
Part of this is that I think some of these are going to be about the mutants, because now Disney has the rights to the X-Men series and all of that jazz, so they're really bringing that into the fold, which they already did with WandaVision, because Pietro, if you didn't know this, you should go watch that. There's a scene, I don't even know what X-Men movie it is, but Pietro is the Silver Surfer in the X-Men movies. And so there's this scene where he gets introduced and he goes and like saves a bunch of people, and he is wearing the exact same outfit in WandaVision that he wears in that scene. And Mark had us watch it because he knew, we didn't. Mark's like our backroom fact checker. But it was so interesting to watch that scene in the movie and then watch him in WandaVision. I was just like, I love the little details and everything getting connected all together. So I think some of these are going to be about mutants or the X-Men, and bringing that all into the Marvel Universe.
So most of these don't really have a description. I didn't click on every single one. I did just notice Armor Wars doesn't have a description, but it tells you who's in it, and Don Cheadle's in it. So it's about what's his name?
I don't know who
Rhodey is.
Oh, Don Cheadle's?
John Cheadle is Rhodey.
Yes.
But I can't think of his name, his superhero name.
The Iron
Man 2.0.
No, he has a name. He calls him something. Like the American.
Oh yeah, it's funny because he's trying to get people to call him that.
Yeah.
And he's like,
yeah.
Wow, that's awful. Anyway, so that one's gonna be about Don Cheadle, which I think is great because I think they're saying he recovers from.
Well, he can already walk with that thing that Iron Man built him, so
yeah,
you're literally fine. They make such a big deal about it, and I understand. You know, you're paralyzed. That sucks. But if Iron Man is your best friend, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna have a walking system of some kind. So that should be interesting for sure. So much to go on.
Like 9 minutes. So anything else you want to say?
No, not really. That was pretty much it.
I feel like I've rushed you at some points, and I don't want you to feel rushed.
No, I feel good. I feel like we've covered all the bases.
As long as you feel hurt. Understood.
Me too.
Okay. You're satisfied with your character?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I think, so we'll put this one out. We'll make another podcast next, I don't know if it'll be next week or the week after when the second one comes out. Because did a new one come out already?
They come out once a week. I don't think a new one has come out this week.
Okay. So.
Or maybe we watched the one that came out this week.
No, we didn't. Because Mark was gone.
Okay.
And then I looked and it wasn't there.
Well,
and then
anyway.
he got back and it was here. And we haven't watched it. So is there one more?
No, I think it's going to be next week.
Yeah,
next week there's one, and then there'll be another one.
And then another one.
Yeah.
So
I feel like we'll put this out, and then we'll watch those two, and then we'll recap the whole WandaVision series.
Yeah, and we'll talk about Marvel some more, and then we will move on.
And probably Luca.
Something else.
Yeah, and then we'll move on to something totally random.
Yeah.
Not movie related at all.
Yes, probably Enneagram.
Enneagram?
That's what I'm leaning towards. Rachel and
we love the Enneagram.
I just really want to get my tips out there about the Enneagram. What the heck was that?
It was a truck turning on. Yeah, because we love the Enneagram, and I am an online fitness coach, and so a lot of my clients have been asking me about the Enneagram, and I've been trying to steer them in that direction because I just feel like it's so helpful in not only your personal life, but even it affects your fitness journey. So I've been trying to learn more and get more about it, and we just love it. It's so helpful. Little tool, if you will. So one more Marvel episode, and then we'll totally switch gears to personality.
Maybe we'll type the Marvel characters.
We should. That would be fun.
Anyway, so
I just want to know who would be my number. Is what I care about.
Oh, I could think of a few.
Teaser.
Anyway,
so thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening. If you did, we love the 10 people that already listened. And
you guys are our favorites. Whoever you are, identify yourselves so we can love you.
Again, I really hope that this recorded all the way through and we can actually put it on YouTube, and that way you guys can comment and let us know what you're thinking. In terms of the podcast, you can't really comment or anything.
Yes.
But
if you do have any comments on the podcast,
Rachel.
Yeah, on Instagram at Rachel Burkholder.
Yes.
That's it. And then Bekah's is at Bekah Cogent.
No, it's not.
Coach it, Rebecca?
Nope.
Oh, it's Bekah LaBoo. I'm sorry.
So, yeah, if we get this up on YouTube, definitely comment stuff you guys actually want to hear about, because we will talk about whatever. We're just in the Marvel moment. Yes. So, here we are.
But we're ready to go wherever you 10 people want to go.
I think we can keep that. If there's 10 people listening, we talk about whatever you guys want to talk about.
Yeah, each of you pick a topic. 10 episodes. We're ready. That'll be so fun. All right. Thanks again for watching, and now we're listening. We'll see you in the next one.
I have to pee.
Oh my gosh, it did record. Yay!